Welcome to day 3 of our Microsoft 365 Mastery Virtual Training class. Today, we'll be looking at creating and opening documents, and we'll be guided by this agenda: introduction, to create a new blank document, to create a new document from a template, to save a document, to open an existing document, to pin a document, compatibility mode, to convert a document. Word files are called documents. Whenever you start a new project in Word, you will need to create a new document, which can either be blank or from a template. You will also need to know how to open an existing document. Creating a new blank document. When beginning a new project in Word, you will often want to start with a new blank document. There are 2 ways you can go about that. First is when Word is launched from scratch, and the other is when Word is previously opened already and you can then launch a new blank document. Now let's see how to do both. So you launch your Microsoft Word, and then on the start page you will see the blank document at the top. You click on it and it will launch a new blank document. And the other option is when you are working already on a project, but you want to start another on a blank page. What do you do? So you're already working on this document, but you want to start a new project from a blank document. What do? You click on File and you go to the backstage and you can see blank document here. You click on it and it will open a new blank document. Creating a new document from templates. A template is a pre-designed document you can use to create a new document quickly. Templates often include custom formatting and designs, so they can save you a lot of time and effort when starting a new project. Also, there are 2 ways you can go about creating documents from template. Number 1 is when you launch MS Word from scratch, and number 2 is when MS Word is already open previously and you want to create a new project from template. So let's see how it goes. Now, I launched MS Word and you can see on the start page, you can see after this blank document, every other document you can see there, they are all referred to as template. But if maybe these ones are not suiting the project you want to do, you can click at the bottom, More Template. And when you click on it, it will load up more template from which you can choose from. But if you have a particular project in mind, you can search for templates relating to that project. You can search for it here, or you can choose from the selected searches suggestion, and then when you click on it, it will load templates in that particular area. So let me assume it's a flyer I want to design. So I will look through which one suits the kind of design I want to do. All I have to do is to click on that. And when I click on that, it will give me an option to create a copy of that particular template that I can edit. So I click on it and it will be created and load up into my workspace. So you can see that instead of going from scratch to begin to create this design, I already got a template. And if I would just edit maybe the pictures, I can edit the picture, I can edit the text. So you can see I can click on it and then change it to the text that suits what I want to do. I can also change the picture that is already there. I can remove this one and I can bring in another picture. So that is one way you can go about creating a document from a template. And then another way is, if you're already working on a project, that is your MS Word is already open, you can go to the backstage, you click on file, and you will get access to the templates. Take note that the template you recently work on will be displayed first before every other template. So you can click also on new. It will also give you access to various templates. So that is how to create a document from templates. Saving a document. Though we have a video on saving and sharing a document, but here I will just look at how to save a document very quickly. When you create a new document in Word, you will need to know how to save it so you can access and edit it later. As with previous versions of Word, you can save files to your computer. If you prefer, you can also save files to the cloud using OneDrive. Now, I'm focusing on saving to your computer and not to OneDrive. There are two ways you can go about that. You can save it either using the Save option or using the Save As option. The Save option is used when you initiate a new project that has not previously been saved, or when you are working on a document and you've not saved it, you use the Save option to save it. While the Save As option is to save a copy of a particular document. So let's go into it. So I have created a document that I want to start that has not previously been saved. If you can see, it is showing here document 1, meaning that the document has not been saved with any particular name. So what do? You click on file and you go to the backstage. You will see save here. You click on save. And then you browse the location where you want your document to be saved. Me, I want it to be saved in my download. So I click on it, and the next thing is to name the document. Name the document, and after naming the document, you choose the type you want it to be saved as, the format, the Word format you want it to be saved as. So when you choose on it, you click on save, and that document will be saved. Now, if you look at the title bar, you will see that the document, as the title of the document has been changed from document to testing, and you can also see that there is a status here saying saved. So that is how you go about saving your document. But as you start working on the document, you will discover that the status is no longer there. So there is a need for you to do what? Save this document. So what do? You go back again, you click on file, you click on save, and it will save again. This is the status saved. Now, you can also use the save as to create a copy. So what do? You click on file, you click on save as, you choose a location where you want to save the copy to. I want to save the copy to what? To my desktop. So what do? I click on desktop, I name it what I want it to be. And then I click on what? Saved. And the document will be saved into my desktop. So the document is saved already. If you can look at the status, the name I gave it, second testing, and the status is saved. So that is how you go about saving a document. Open an existing document. In addition to creating new documents, you will often need to open a document that was previously saved. How do you go about that? You can from your desktop, or you can from the folder where you save that particular document, open the document. So let's assume that I saved a document under this Microsoft 365 document. Now, I can double click on the name of the document and it will open automatically. Now, but assuming that I'm already in Microsoft Word and I want to open an already created document, what do? I go to the backstage, click on File, and then from here you can see recent documents that have been worked on. You can search if the document is there, but if it's not there, you click on Open. When you click on Open, you can use Browse to browse through the file or folder where your document could be found. So let's assume my document is in the downloads. So what I have to do is to come there and then click on it and then click open, and the document will be open. So that is how you open an existing document. Pin a document. If you frequently work with the same document, you can pin it to the backstage view for quick access. Pinning is the same as adding to favorite. So let me show you how to do so. So assume this is a document, Understanding OneDrive, that you have worked on previously and you will regularly come back to work on it. What you can do is you click on File, and then at the back you will see Recent, and you will also see Favorite. In some other versions of MS Word, instead of Favorite, you will see what? Pin. Now, when you click on that favorite, whatever be the document you have pinned or added to favorite is going to be listed there, and it can just be easily accessed without going to search for it. So how do you pin? You locate that particular document that you want to work on frequently, and then you will do what? Click on. You can see this star icon here, that is to do what? Add to favorite. In some other versions, that star icon is a pin icon. All you do is just to click on it, and that document will be automatically moved into your favorite or pin folder, depending on the version you are using. So with that, whenever you launch MS Word, whenever you launch MS Word, as you click on Open, that particular document will always be listed at the top. You can see that the star is checked on the two of them. Compatibility Mode. Sometimes you may need to work with documents that were created in early versions of Microsoft Word, like Word 2010 or Word 2007. When you open these types of documents, they will appear in compatibility mode, especially when they are opened in a newer version or a more recent version than the versions they were created in. Let me show you as an example. I have a document here that was created in Microsoft Word 2007. As I launch the document in Office 2024, you can see that it is opened in compatibility mode. Now, what does compatibility mode means? Compatibility mode means that it is opening the document in the version you created it in. By that, any functionality in this new version that is not in that old version will be automatically disabled, meaning that you cannot find them useful in this particular document. Like as you can see, this particular test effect functionality is disabled. You can see it written there. This command is currently disabled. Why? Because the 2027 MS Word does not have that particular functionality. And even the add-ins, if you can see, the add-ins here is also disabled because it is not in the version where this document was created, so it will automatically be disabled. Converting a document. To exit compatibility mode so as to enable all the features in this new version to be enabled for use on the document created in the old version, you will need to convert the document to the current version type. If you want to access the newer features, you can convert the document to the current file format. So how do we do that? You go to your Word document, open the document that was created in previous version. As you can see, it opened in what? Compatibility mode. So what do? You go to the backstage, you click on File, and then you click on Info. When you click on Info, the first jumbo pane there, you can see Compatibility mode. And you see what is written there. Some new features are disabled to prevent problem when working with previous versions of Office. Converting this file will enable this feature. So what do? You click on Convert, and it will ask you if you want to convert it. You click on OK, and the document has been converted to the recent version. But for all the features to be fully activated or enabled, you click on Save. And as soon as it is saved, you can see that this test effect has been enabled. You can now see that you can use the functionality in that document. And even the add-ins, you can see now that add-ins has become what? Enabled. So that is how you convert a document created in previous version so that it can be opened and can be able to work on it with newer versions, features in the newer version.